Hi everyone, welcome to the Alchemy Scope. So this has been wanting to come forward for quite a while, but here we are at the very end of 2014 and it couldn't wait any longer. It was really calling to come forward. So there was one intention when this came to me months ago, there was one intention of bringing forward this particular new moon alchemy scope for the signs, which is to provide you tools and information that will help support your journey of your soul's maturation and evolution process that's underway, because it is underway rapidly, and we're needing as much support as we can get. So this is intended to support your journey wholly. So there are 6 components to every new moon alchemy scope that's going to be coming out. One is the symbology. We're going to look on the macrocosmic scale, on a general scale for the collective, what symbology is imbued at the degree point for the new moon that's informing this next 30-day cycle. Then on the microcosmic scale, I'm going to throw the I Ching for you, and we're going to look at your particular theme that's going to be playing out and what's going to be being called forward within you to grow and mature. And then I'm going to do a spread. I'm either going to use the Bral Talej deck, or I'm going to use a deck of 144 card deck that I created I call the Siri deck. So I'm going to either use the Bral Talej or the Siri deck to pull some information about an event or situation that might emerge for you this month that your soul has called forward for you to grow and mature through. And then we're going to look at the archetypes. I'm going to pull from the Carolyn Miss Archetype deck, and we're going to find out which archetype, which archetypal qualities are wanting to come through you, evolve through you this month, mature, essentially. And then we're going to pull an Ascended Masters card for support from Doreen Virtue's deck. And finally, I'm going to provide you a Dakini from Penny Slinger's 64 Dakini Oracle, and they're quite powerful, and there's a lot of information. So I'm going to provide a link at the end of the video where you can go and access the information, because it's something you want to sit and read with. Excuse me, you want to read through and then you want to work with, because there are affirmations and rituals and stuff that Penny recommends. And I find them quite powerful. This is goddess energy, this is archetypal energy, this is themed energy. So the Dakini will provide you a theme to dive into in the coming 30 days that will serve your growth. Okay? So let's get started on the individual signs. So let's talk about the macrocosmic cycle that's unfolding with this new moon. The Sabian symbol that's imbued at 0 degrees Sagittarius, which is the new moon point happening on November 22nd and informing our next 30-day cycle, is retired Army veterans gather to reawaken old memories. Now, this is an important period of time that we're walking through right now. This particular new moon is the second of 3 consecutive new moons happening at the 0 degree point. October 23rd had it at 0 degrees Scorpio. Next month we have it at 0 degrees Capricorn on December 22nd. So we're in the middle of a portal time frame right now that is quite powerful. 0 is the alpha and the omega. 0 is beginnings and endings. 0 is potentiality. It is your pure empowerment. So this is a big, big time. It's no number, yet it is the container for all. It is the Fool in the tarot. This is pure potentiality. This is activation of your truest, highest self. This is about activating and actualizing your soul print, everyone. So this new moon is fascinating because it is happening in Sagittarius. Sagittarius represents higher mind, optimism, journeying forward, freedom, expansion, adventure. And the fact that the symbol that's imbued with this new moon is about, you know, coming together post-war, and a lot of us have been through a lot of difficulties over the course of the last year or many years recently as systems start collapsing and we're really being called to become our full and whole selves. We're being called to really look back and see what has worked, what hasn't worked, what has served us, what do we want to rebuild anew, what do we need to let go of. So at this new moon, it's the duality of both and, where we're looking forward, yet we're having to look back. So that's pretty powerful stuff. And for me, that's about extracting what it is that worked, letting go what didn't, and moving forward into the new self, the new whole self. So this is really a beautiful time. So let's go into each sign and look at what event or situation might be influencing you this month. So let's look at the I Ching that came up for you for this next cycle. First of all, two things. One is, because throwing the I Ching coins and calculating takes a bit of time, I did that off camera in a ritual for all of the signs. It might be a possibility that I do it on camera for future recordings, but for this month I did it off camera separately. And the other is, I'm using the Visionary I Ching, which was developed by Paul O'Brien. Well, he didn't develop it. He's still using the I Ching, but the language for the Visionary I Ching is more resonant with modern day. You received 63 after completion, and the two trigrams that make up the hexagram for 63 after completion are comprised of water above and fire below. Okay, so it's the qualities of these two together that bring forward a form that have qualities imbued and that bring forward this information. So let me read what it says for you. It is a fine irony that after completion of a project or great enterprise, there is still much left to do. Completion is merely a pause in the cycle of creation and decay, a momentary still point for the swinging pendulum of life. Though completion does imply a period of restful pause, one that usually has been well earned, it is not an actual ending, but a uniquely harmonious flat spot in the constancy of change and movement. The image of after completion is that of a kettle of boiling water over a fire. When the forces are balanced, the water boils properly, but if the pot is too full and boils over, it puts out the fire. On the other hand, if the fire is too hot for too long, it can evaporate all the water. In maintaining the equilibrium that follows the completion of an arduous task, forces at work in the situation must be monitored carefully to ensure that a proper balance is maintained. After completion is also a time for fine-tuning, for refinements, and for embellishments of what has already been accomplished. Even if we enjoy a rewarding situation at the moment, the laws of the natural world dictate that influence and success must eventually decline. Don't let current good fortune prompt careless or relaxed attitudes. Whatever is successful or already established needs to be carefully maintained without trying to expand it now. What is incomplete, on the other hand, should be brought to fruition without delay. Take satisfaction upon completion, enjoy a sense of fulfillment, but do not dwell on endings. So that looks to be your cycle for December. Hi, Leo. So I went ahead and shuffled my deck. I'm using the Siri deck. It's a 144 card deck that I created for myself several years ago. And I went ahead and shuffled, and it's in place. Let's go ahead and pull the spread. I'm pulling what's called a synchronic spread. And usually there's more cards involved. If there are reversals, there are more cards involved. You've got a very simple spread here. So what the question was that we put forward is, what event or circumstance might your higher self have called forward for you to experience in the month of December? Excuse me. And it's very clearly having to do with your energy system. So the center card is kind of the center point to take a look at. So something about your energy system, and this is your physical system as well as your energetic system. Physically, in the physical position, it looks like you might have sickness or illness come upon you. It might just be a cold or a flu, by the way. So this doesn't have to be super serious, but it does look like your energetic system is going to be affected in the month of December. That will affect a project that a man has asked you to partake in. And this could be perhaps, by the way, these are my own images, of course, that I've chosen for this deck. So these are not going to resonate for all of you. These are my own resonant images. So enjoy the images. Anyway, so there will be a man that's asking you to help with a project, or you could be asking a man to help you with a project. And this could be a creative project. It could be a work project. It could be like a family favor project sort of thing. So, but it does look like it wants to happen. It's being called to happen overseas or a long distance from your home. So, but it does look like you might be ill and not able to do it. So I think the spread is basically just making you aware that this event might emerge for you, and it's something that your soul has called forward to work through for whatever reason. So we'll look at the rest of what this month has in store for you as well. Okay. Hi, Leo. So let's take a look at the archetype that wants to evolve through you this month. We're going to look at the higher vibration, the higher frequency vibration, which wants to be birthed or wants to be evolved through you this month. And we'll also look at the shadow aspect as well. This deck is the Carolyn Myss deck. She used to be a medical intuitive, and she's worked with archetypes for many years. She's a well-known author and teacher. All right, Leo for December. Let's see. Oh, delicious. So Leo, you get goddess. Goddess is the archetype that wants to come through you this month, to be evolved, to be tapped into and evolved. Let me read it to you here. All right. So the high frequency vibration, the high frequency manifestation of goddess is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Okay? The shadow or the lower frequency vibrations of the goddess is exploitation of the female nature and form. So this is about deep honoring of the feminine within you, whether you're female or male. It doesn't matter. We all have the feminine that lives within us. We all have the masculine. We all have the feminine, yin yang within each of us. So the divine feminine has been, well, this is a big topic. I'm going to be going more into this on this channel. But the divine feminine is in dire need of being resurrected in her infinite power and wisdom. So this is huge for you, Leo. And I will say, too, that Jupiter is, going through Leo for the next, well, till next July, which is huge. So there's many expansion points for you, whether it's your ascendant, whether it's your sun, whether you have a stellium of planets in Leo. We all have influence of Leo within our horoscope, within our natal horoscope. But if you're watching this, you probably have a sun in Leo, or you might have an ascendant in Leo. So you are dramatically affected for the next several months with Jupiter and the expansion that's taking place. So the goddess, ooh, look, and look at this. Oh, this is great. So this just popped out for you. So I was shuffling Doreen Virtue's Ascended Master deck. And this is the Ascended Master that came forward for you this month. This is the Ascended Master that has a special message for you, has a support for you. Energy healing, Merlin. So with the goddess and with Merlin, and I'm going to go ahead and read from the deck. That's pretty powerful stuff right there. Let's see, energy healing. Okay, so this is what Doreen writes. The situation you've inquired about involves energy healing. You have healing abilities that you can direct through your hands, thoughts, and heart. That's very feminine too. Send loving energy to elevate and heal the situation. You can clear the energy in a home, office, or vehicle as well. Your experiences with energy healing may be so powerful that you decide to conduct healings as a profession. So that's pretty delicious. I'm going to show that card to you again. Great. So, Leo, how wonderful. So let's see what other goodies we have in store for you this month. So Leo, the final component for your December alchemy scope is your Dakini. And this Dakini is a story that lives within you that wants to be explored this month. You received 51 Alchemica, a fantastic Dakini. And with all of your energy information that's come through on your December alchemy scope, I find this quite fascinating and beautiful. Let me read a little bit to give you a taste, and then the link is below so you can access the PDF and get all the information that Penny Slinger has written up so beautifully. Alchemica takes the raw elements of the earth and transforms them through the marriage of fire and water. She is the Gnostic Dakini whose modality is in the transformation of matter from one state to another, from a gross to a refined state. She is seriously involved in the process of transmutation. Alchemy has an important place in the esoteric arts, combining the scientific and metaphysical approach. It understands that inner work and outer work are intimately connected. Indeed they are. And both must be taken into consideration in any alchemical process. In this way, Alchemica brings you the secret arts and embodies an ancient science which sets the tone for the emerging field of meta-science. So that gives you a little taste. Again, the link is below to access the rest because it's long. And I wish you a fantastic month. It looks like it's going to provide you with some interesting growth edges. And I'd be interested to hear from you to see what ends up unfolding for you this month. So I wish you a fantastic December, and I'll see you next month. And a final note. The products that I offer, the archetypal profile, the symbolic profile, holistic sessions, that all help people get clear on the archetypes, the symbols, and the general evolutionary trajectory their soul is encoded with. All of those services are available via gift certificate. So if you have family members or friends who you would love to give the gift of clarity this year to, I have wonderful, easy gift certificates that can provide some not only fun, but wonderful and kind of deep and meaningful gifts. So I invite you to go to the website and take a look. Links are below, and contact me with if should you have any questions whatsoever, if you need clarity on what any of these items are. But archetypal profile, symbolic profile, the combination of both, and the holistic sessions are wonderful offerings to help people really see various aspects of themselves very clearly. And this is just such a beautiful time to do that. All right. Happy holidays, everybody.